Alright, welcome back, guys. This is a new type of video. I haven't really done too many of these any of these videos on this channel yet. But somebody DM'd me, recommended me to kind of give my thoughts on the market, like kind of do some chart analysis, maybe highlight some key levels or whatnot, some supply zones, demand zones, anything I'm looking at, and like my thoughts on the for the week on NQ. And the reason I don't normally do this is because I used to be really into these type of videos, and I would do a lot of analysis over the weekend and whatnot. But I got to the point where I realized, especially as I moved more towards, I used to do a lot of swing trading, and I still do occasionally here and there, but I moved towards a more intraday trading approach. So most of the time, the overall picture, it is still important to me. But as far as like trying to or like not predict, but kind of like analyze 1 weekend ahead, I felt it was pretty pointless, and most of the time my prediction wasn't even going to be right anyways, right? So that's why I'm not a huge fan of making these type of videos, but he suggested it, and I thought I'd give it a go. Everything I'm going to say is obviously only my opinion, and I'm going to tell you, it's like there's a very high chance whatever I say is not going to play out exactly as I say it is. And sorry if I do sound sick, like I explained last video. I've been sick over the weekend, so that kind of sucked for me. So if you look at NQ here, obviously we've been in a pretty strong downtrend here. Let's see how much we've dropped from highs. So it's only 4.7. I actually thought it was a lot more than that. I thought we were like closer to 6 to 8%, but it's only been 4.76%. It's felt like a lot more, honestly. And if you look at it more recently, right, since November, we've been on this pretty strong uptrend. And especially here, I was kind of looking for a move to the downside, which I never really got. I was really leaning down to the downside here, and then we just started ripping. And luckily, I abandoned that idea somewhere over here, and didn't keep being stubborn about wanting to move to the downside. But I know a lot of people kept trying to look for that short, and ultimately it never really came until now. And we finally got like a steady like 3-4 red days in a row, which has been nice if you've been looking for that trade. Now that we've made a move down, we have a lot of key levels above, specifically supply zones that we've created along the way. I had a lot more drawn, but I deleted a lot of the ones that I thought weren't as major. So if you want to copy my zones or whatever, these are the zones. It's basically any like pivot points are the ones I have highlighted. And if we look at levels closer to where we're at right now, I would say the important ones are definitely this one. And this is on NAS 100, so the actual like levels might be a little bit different if you're looking at like the NQ actual contract, right? Like on Tradeovate, it's a little bit different. Just look at those pivot points, and those areas are the ones I'm going to be looking at. As far as what I think is going to happen, we can I think in the first couple of days we might see a bounce. We've seen, especially because of how we've seen futures open right now. So far, futures are green about 18%. The Russell's a little bit stronger here at 0.33, and ES or SPY is at 0.13. So not anything like crazy, but we are green so far on the future session, and we kind of saw a move to the upside on Friday. But I do think we can potentially see us continuing this move down, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday might be like the day where we see something similar to this, where it's like we've exhausted to the downside and we see that relief bounce. Again, these are all just my opinions. I wouldn't say hold them like yeah, they're for sure gonna happen. Definitely not. They're just the ideas I'm throwing out right now. And I think the important thing to take is the levels I have drawn right now. And again, as I've mentioned before, it's not so much as, okay, once we reach a certain level, immediately, if it's like a supply zone short, like you kind of want to let it get to that zone, watch how it reacts, and depending on certain reactions we got off it, like if you start seeing us pivot from that zone, then I would be willing to take a short there and set up a trade like that, right? Then I would look for something like that, and then you could potentially target this pivot point down here, and then it takes some profits there, and then leave runners to potentially break below here. Stuff like that, right? That's how I personally structure my trades, and I just use the supply zones as like areas of interest, basically. But yeah, I do think we can potentially bounce, potentially break above this zone and even break above this zone. So potential targets for Monday, again, it's based on how we react. If you react really positive to this zone, I would start targeting somewhere above here for Monday, and then potentially we can even come all the way up here, again depending on how we react to this zone, break above this zone and come here somewhere like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then start seeing that downside move again, back down, and then potentially break below this and see a move lower. If we look at higher time frames, we spent a lot of time in this zone, so I would say we will probably eventually head back into this zone, and then if this is eventually going to be like a big down uptrend, this would be the zone where we kind of base for a little bit and then start building off of that and eventually see that continuation to the upside, right? So mid to long term, I'm looking for more upside, but shorter term, like this week, I think initially, like the first couple of days, we could see some bullishness, and then potentially break below this zone, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday we might see kind of a relief bounce similar to what we saw this week. So that's kind of my opinion of what might happen. But again, that's just my opinion, and those are potential targets I'm looking at. But I don't have too much on my chart right now. Again, most of my trading is reliant on very short-term information. So right now I wouldn't be in any kind of trade. So right now, if you're looking to take a trade, I would probably wait for us to hit this zone. If we start seeing some weakness off this zone, I wouldn't mind taking a short trade and seeing if I'm wrong about, like, I'm totally okay with being wrong about my seeing some early bullishness this week. And you can set up a trade like that, like I've already mentioned, right? If it is the case we hit the zone and we start rejecting, I'm okay with taking a short. Like, I'm not gonna, just because I have an idea that we might see some initial bullishness during the week, I'm not gonna stop myself from taking short trades, especially because I do think we will see this pivot point break this week. Closest zone that we will be looking at right now is that one. As far as any support zones, I don't have any drawn right now on my chart. You could say somewhere here could potentially be a target if you're taking a short, like right now. So that's one support zone we have, just because it's been a support zone here, it was a resistance zone here, support zone again here. So we've got a couple reactions on this level. Down here we also had kind of a demand zone. Those are the levels I'm looking at right now, and that's what my overall idea of what price action could do is right now. But that's all I got. Maybe if I do an updated video, updated of this like every night, would be more helpful. I feel like if I did it like right at market open and give you guys my outlook for the day, that would be a little bit more helpful instead of trying to like have an outlook for the entire week, because it's just so hard to predict, especially when we have like news events and like whatnot. I don't know if we have anything major coming up this week, but it's just things change so fast. Every single candle is like new information. Like after Monday, my whole idea could be invalidated, and it's just like, okay, what now? This video wasn't really going to help you too much to begin with, but if you did find some like value from this video and you want me to continue doing them, I could go ahead and keep doing them. I just personally don't see too much value in them anymore, at least not for the way I trade. But I don't know, maybe you get value from the zones I have drawn. I think they're pretty easy to draw, right? It's just whichever points have a lot of pivot points on them are going to be key levels, which I think anybody could draw those out, and then just pay attention whenever price gets to that point and potentially make a trade in that area. But yeah, I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer. Hope you guys have a great trading week, and I don't know, maybe I'll make an updated one of these videos during the weekend. Hopefully I can provide a little bit more insight and show you guys a couple of my trades if I'm in a trade at that point, or a little bit more of a solid idea than I could give you guys right now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.